Okay, so number 44 out of the textbook says the cosine of theta equals this four-place decimal 0.9848. What is the acute angle that stands for? And this again is totally 100% down on your calculator, and that's where you use the sine -1, cosine -1, or tangent -1 keys, all right? And basically, that does not flip over those functions. What it does is it gets you the angle, or it gets back to the angle when you know the decimal equivalent of that angle. So, so which key do you think I'm going to use for this one if I want to find the angle when I have the answer to the cosine of some angle? What is the angle? Again, that's cosine, so I'm going to use the cosine -1 key. Now, again, they asked for degrees, so make sure you're in degree mode. And then it's pretty easy. You clear out your calculator, and then you type in the cosine -1 key by using the yellow button first. Okay? And then you're going to type in 0.9848, and then hit enter. And it gives me 10.0025. So that means that theta equals 10.0025 degrees. Now, if I asked you to round it to the nearest degree, then you could say 10 degrees. If I want the radians for that, I can change this to radian mode and do the same thing. So I'm going to hit my mode button, and I'm going to change now to radian mode, and hit clear again. And now do, again, the cosine -1 key, so second cosine, type in 0.9848, and this time my answer should be in radians, and theta equals 0.1746 radians, okay? So the calculator will figure radians or degrees for you. Make sure you're aware of what mode you're in and pay attention to what type of answer they want. Do they want degrees or radians? And these are pretty straightforward. But what happens when I do some of the partner functions? For example, suppose I want to do cosecant of theta equals 3, right? There's no cosecant button. So the only thing I can do is the sine of theta, right? And use its reciprocal. So, I use the sine inverse key, so second sine, and then I do, and I put this in parentheses, so parenthesis, 1 divided by 3.000, close parenthesis, hit enter, and I get the radians. I get the degree in radians, and did I want radians? No, I didn't. I wanted degrees. Well, I didn't change my calculator, so it's 0.3398 in radians. Let's check it out in degrees. So let's change my mode. Let's go back to degrees, enter. All right, clear it out. So now I'm going to do the sine inverse of 1 divided by 3.000, and I get 19.47 degrees. 19.47 degrees. And you know, I could change it to radians and see if I got the right radians. Do you remember the conversion? Times something by what? Pi over 180, right? So times pi divided by 180, and I get 0.3398. So I did the conversion to check to see if I can figure out the radians by using my formula, but of course you can put this in radians also. So do we want to do one more of these tricky ones? let's try one more. So suppose I want the secant of theta equals 3.555. And I want to know what the theta is. Well, what's the partner function for secant? Cosine. So cosine of theta would equal 1 over 3.555. And then now use the cosine -1 key, right? And then type in 1 divided by 3.555 and then hit enter, and you should get the answer. And the answer should come out to 73.7 degrees. And then you can do it again and check for radians if you want. I mean, you can do it in the other mode to get the radian answer instead of the degree answer, or you can convert it. Now, suppose I don't want a decimal point. Suppose I want minute, degrees, and seconds. Do you know what to do then? Of course you do. You take your decimal point, right? Times it by 60. Write that answer, and then times it by 60 again. You want me to do that all the way through? Okay, I don't have much room on the board, but let's do it here. So, I got my answer. I'm going to start right from scratch again. So, second cosine, 1 divided by 3.555, close parenthesis, and I get 73.66253, and it goes on forever. So I want degree minutes and seconds, so it's 73 degrees. So subtract 73, hit enter, take that decimal, now I have just the decimal part, times it by 60, hit enter, and I get 39 point something, so write down the 39 minutes. Now I'm going to subtract the 39, hit enter, I got 0.75, take that, times it by 60, and I get 45, so 45 seconds, and round it, so it rounds to 45 seconds. And that's how to change this decimal number into degree minutes and seconds. And of course, we did that before, so you should be able to do that. It's kind of a no-brainer, but make sure you can do both. All right, good luck with the homework.